You're watching Just the News. I'm Amata Balachandra. We're going to start off today's bulletin with what's happening in Karnataka after Karnataka Minister K.S. Ishwarappa was named in a police case in connection with the suicide of a contractor. He has now said today that he will definitely not resign. Now, 37-year-old Santosh Patil was found dead on Tuesday morning at a lodge in Udupi. In messages to his friends and others, he had said that the minister was to be blamed for his death. Now, in his note, he has named State Minister K.S. Ishwarappa and accused him of demanding commission for road construction. To this, there was a comment that came in from the minister himself who questioned, in fact, how a WhatsApp message could be treated as a death note and said that it could be typed by anybody. Now, the FIR filed on a complaint by Santosh Patil's brother accused the minister of driving him to suicide and labels him as accused number one. Now, this morning, Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai has said that he would discuss the case one-on-one with Mr. Ishwarappa first. A Congress delegation is now calling for Mr. Ishwarappa's ouster from the cabinet. Trigger warning for people who are watching right now. The next piece of information is extremely disturbing. It comes in from West Bengal. The Calcutta High Court on Tuesday ordered a CBI inquiry into the alleged gang rape and murder of a 14-year-old in West Bengal's Nadia district. The 14-year-old was allegedly gang raped at a birthday party organized by Brajagopal Gwala, the son of a local TMC leader. In a police complaint lodged on the 10th of April, the family has said that the girl started to bleed profusely after the party and died a day later, which is on the 5th of April. Now, 2 people, including Rajagopal, have been arrested so far. In the meantime, the NCW has yesterday hit out at West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee over her recent statement on this particular case. Now, Mamata Banerjee has said, and I quote, "The police are yet to understand the cause of the death. I have asked them, will you call it rape or was she pregnant? Was it the fallout of a love affair? Have you inquired about these? This is an unfortunate incident." End quote. Now, a 2-member team of NCPCR will also visit the family of the minor girl. Moving on now, Bombay High Court has today dismissed pleas filed by Elga Parishad accused Varavara Rao, who had sought for permanent medical bail. However, the Bombay High Court, while dismissing that plea, has extended the interim bail granted to Rao by 3 months to undergo cataract surgery. Now, Mr. Rao had sought permission to shift to Hyderabad, citing ill health and high expenses as well in Mumbai. Now, senior advocate as well in Mumbai. Rao's condition is worsening due to Parkinson's disease. He has already spent over 2.5 years in custody as an under trial and deserves to be released on permanent medical bail. Now, the NIA has accused Rao and 14 other activists of furthering the agenda of the banned CPI Maoist and conspiring to overthrow the government. They've all been booked under the UAPA. Moving on now, Delhi High Court has granted bail to 8 people who were arrested in connection with vandalism and violence outside Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's house. On March 30th, to give you a background, protesters led by BJP Yuva Morcha National President and MP Tejasvi Surya were protesting outside Mr. Kejriwal's house for his remarks against the movie The Kashmir Files. Now, Tejasvi Surya was later detained but released. The others were arrested on the 31st of March. Now, the University Grants Commission has announced that students can pursue 2 full-time academic programs in physical mode simultaneously. Now, earlier it was not possible and students could only pursue 1 full-time degree along with online or short-term or diploma courses. According to the new rules, students can now pursue 2 master programs, 2 bachelor's programs, or can either choose a combination of a diploma program and an undergraduate degree simultaneously. Now, the only condition here is that the class timing for both the programs should not clash. Also, PhD and MPhil are not included in this. Meanwhile, India has started its Quad vaccine initiative. Under this, the Indian ambassador to Cambodia, along with representatives from the embassies of Australia, Japan, and the US to Cambodia, jointly handed over a consignment of 3.25 lakh doses of Covishield vaccines to the Prime Minister of Cambodia. Now, according to MEA, India is set to donate 5 lakh doses of COVID vaccines to the Indo-Pacific under the Quad Vaccine Initiative. In an update now, in the Haridwar hate speech case, the Supreme Court has sought a status report from the Uttarakhand government on the FIRs registered in connection with the dharam sansad that took place in Haridwar. Now, the hate speeches were delivered at this dharam sansad in a matter of two events that were held between 17th and 19th of December 2021 in Haridwar and Delhi. Now, these are fresh petitions that have been filed by a Delhi resident and a senior advocate who have alleged that the authorities in Delhi and Uttarakhand have shown laxity in dealing with this case. Yati Narsinghanand is one of the main accused in this case. He's out on bail, but there are other controversial remarks after he was out on bail that's been made by him as well. An update on the Jharkhand ropeway accident. 3 people have died in this one accident. Extremely tragic news coming in from Jharkhand, where 12 people were also injured. The Disaster Management Minister, Bana Gupta, has admitted today that there have been some lapses with regards to this accident, which claimed 3 lives. This comes after BJP MP Deepak Prakash has blamed the Jharkhand government for the Deoghar cable car mishap. Now, Bana Gupta has assured that stringent action, however, will be taken after the investigation of the incident. The Chief Minister of Jharkhand has also ordered a high-level probe. Meanwhile, the CBI have taken over 5 cases against former Mumbai Police Commissioner Parambir Singh from the Maharashtra Police. Mr. Singh has been accused in an extortion case. Also in the news, BJP Yuva Morcha National President and MP Tejasvi Surya was detained along with other BJP leaders when he was on his way to Rajasthan's Karauli. Now, there's Section 144 in Karauli till the 9th of May, and this after communal clashes broke out in Karauli on the 2nd of April after stones were pelted at a motorcycle rally. Meanwhile, days after Amit Shah's remark on learning Hindi, Tamil Nadu BJP leader K. Annamalai has said that the state unit of the party will not allow the imposition of Hindi in the state. He has said, and I quote, "If we require for work, education or other purposes, we can learn Hindi, but it cannot be imposed. None of us here, including me, speaks Hindi. There is no situation there as such that we have to learn a language to prove that we are Indians," end quote. Now, Home Minister Amit Shah had said that Hindi should be accepted as an alternative to English and not to local languages. This was a clarification that had come in from the Home Minister. Moving on to business news right now, the World Bank has cut its economic growth forecast for India and the whole of South Asian region due to rising inflation risks caused by the Ukraine crisis. Now, it has slashed India's GDP forecast to 8% from 8.7% for the current fiscal year to March 2023. Now, the World Bank has said in India, household consumption will be constrained by the incomplete recovery of the labor market from the pandemic and the inflationary pressures. Moving on to international news right now, starting off with the Brooklyn subway shooting case. There's an update that's coming in this one case. New York City police have identified Frank James as a suspect in the Brooklyn subway shooting case. Now, 23 people were injured after a gunman fired a barrage of at least 33 bullets in a rush hour Manhattan-bound subway train. Now, 10 people were hit directly by gunfire, including 5 who were then hospitalized. This shooter is still at large. Authorities have now offered rewards totaling $50,000 for information leading to the arrest of the gunman. On to Sri Lanka's economic crisis right now. According to Reuters, which has quoted sources, India is willing to provide another $2 billion in financial assistance to Sri Lanka India is keen to reduce China's influence in Sri Lanka through financial humanitarian support. And this is what the Reuters report says. Meanwhile, Sri Lanka has urged its citizens living abroad to donate money amid the economic crisis. Sri Lanka's Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa has also said that he's ready to speak with those who've been protesting against the government. In fact, in a statement that he had made on Tuesday, he said and asked people to maintain calm, to not protest, and that his government was working round the clock. Over the last couple of days, we've seen protests in Sri Lanka over the shortage of fuel. There have been power cuts, long power cuts. In fact, 13-hour long power cuts is what we heard of. And it's been reeling under severe economic crisis. It's worst since its independence. To know really why the economic crisis happened, there's a video that we have put out. Do take a look at it and give us feedback, and also tell us what other whole stories you need, and we will work on that as well. Moving on now, it's day 49 of Russia's invasion in Ukraine. Russia has claimed that 1,026 Ukrainian soldiers have surrendered in the port city of Mariupol. Now, Mariupol is a strategic city for Russia, and so far it's one of the worst affected cities as well in Ukraine. A top advisor, however, to Ukrainian President Zelensky has said that the city is still standing and the Marines have joined another battalion. The mayor of Mariupol has said that over 21,000 civilians have been killed in the southern city and 1 lakh are still awaiting evacuation. In the meantime, Russia's Kremlin has said that it categorically disagrees with US President Joe Biden's description of Russian invasion of Ukraine as genocide. One piece of good news before we wrap things up here on this bulletin. This comes in from Thiruvananthapuram. The Thiruvananthapuram District Panchayat has, for the third time, won the Deen Dayal Upadhyay National Award for the best performance in the Best District Panchayat category. Now, the District Panchayat has also bagged the state government's Swaraj Trophy for the best performer 4 times. That brings us to the end of this bulletin. Thank you so much for watching. Good night.